Hey there, today I'm going to be showing you 5 new absolutely amazing casserole recipes. You are going to want to make these recipes over and over again. They are that good. So I hope you enjoy this video. Let's go get to cooking. We're starting today out by making one of my all-time favorite casseroles. This French onion casserole is seriously out of this world. To the bottom of my 9x13 greased baking dish, I'm adding my 8 boneless pork chops. On top of the pork chops, you're going to spread a half a cup of this French onion dip all over the tops of them. After you're through with that, you're going to sprinkle a cup and a half of shredded sharp cheddar cheese on top of the French onion dip. I am such a fan of these French's crispy fried onions. They are so good. So now we're going to be sprinkling 1 cup of them all over the top of the cheese. This will bake in a preheated oven to 350 degrees for about 35 to 40 minutes or until the pork reaches a minimum temperature of 145 degrees. I cannot even begin to explain to you how good these pork chops are. The crispiness from the French onions on the top is absolutely perfect, and then the creaminess on the inside is so rich and delicious. I served it with steamed broccoli on the side. Now we're making this Doritos casserole, and I really think this one will impress you. In my bowl right here, I have 4 cups of shredded chicken. I just cooked my chicken up in the Instant Pot and then shredded it from there, but you could boil your chicken up on the stove or just buy a rotisserie chicken. To the chicken, I added 1 can of Rotel, a small can of diced green chilies, 1 drained can of corn, a drained and rinsed can of black beans, 1 can of cream of chicken soup, 1/3 cup of sour cream, and then 1 cup of Mexican-style cheese, a tablespoon and a half of taco seasoning, and then you are going to stir this mixture all together to combine. Make sure you spray your 9x13 baking dish with plenty of nonstick spray, and then you'll add 2 little bags of nacho cheese Doritos. Just crush them up a little bit. It's pretty much the equivalent to 2 cups if you're wondering. And then on top of the Doritos, go ahead and add that chicken mixture we just made up. This will bake in a preheated oven to 350 degrees for about 20 minutes. Now that my casserole is out of the oven, you are going to sprinkle an additional 2 cups of Doritos on top. The last thing you'll add on top of the Doritos is a half a cup of Mexican-style cheese. This will bake in your oven for an additional 10 to 12 minutes or until the cheese is completely melted. We typically like to top ours with our favorite taco toppings. Today I topped mine with a little bit of jalapeno, fresh cilantro, sour cream, and cherry tomatoes. This casserole is so unique and fun. I really do think you'd love it. Now we're going to get started on this Italian sausage lower carb casserole. So on my cutting board, I'm just going to cut my red bell pepper into smaller pieces. Over to my pan on the stove, I have a tablespoon of hot olive oil in there. I added my bell pepper and I'm going to cook it for about 1 to 2 minutes or until it starts to soften. Once it does start to soften, you are going to add in 1 pound of Italian sausage. Cook the sausage through. Now that my sausage is completely cooked, I'm just removing any of the excess grease. Typically, sausage is kind of a more greasy type of meat, so make sure you do remove the grease for this one. After I'm finished with that, you will add in your 6 ounces of cubed cream cheese. I do have my heat off at this point. Stir the cream cheese around until it is melted down and combined with the sausage. In this large bowl, I just added that sausage mixture. Next, you'll add 6 cups cups of riced cauliflower. This is just frozen riced cauliflower. After that, you'll add in a half a cup of shredded sharp cheddar cheese and then 1 teaspoon of Italian seasoning. Stir this all together. Over to my greased 9x13 baking dish, go ahead and add the casserole right in there and then spread it out as even as possible. Sprinkle the top with 1 cup of shredded sharp cheddar cheese. Cover this with aluminum foil, and then this will bake in a preheated oven to 375 degrees for about 25 minutes. After 25 minutes of baking, remove it from the oven and then take the foil off and then bake it for an additional 10 minutes. I could probably give you 100 different reasons on why I love this casserole so much. It is definitely a favorite for me. If you're looking for a great lower carb meal idea, this one is for you. It has amazing bold flavor. It's also super duper filling. This one is a total hit in my family. Now we're getting started on this barbecue chicken bacon ranch casserole. To my pot of boiling water, I just added a half a pound of bow tie pasta. I cooked it according to the package directions, and then I drained it and then added it into this large bowl. The next thing you'll add is 3 cups of cooked shredded chicken. Of course, I cooked mine in my Instant Pot, but just cook yours however you care to do so. Then I added in a half a cup of cooked crumbled bacon. I just used these bacon bits to make everything easier. Next, add in 1 can of drained corn, 1 can of Rotel, a small can of diced green chilies, a half a cup of ranch dressing. You could add in any type of ranch dressing you like, but I've been really liking the Olive Garden ranch recently. I just think it tastes good. Next, you'll add in your 1/3 cup of barbecue sauce, followed by a half a teaspoon of onion powder and garlic powder, and a half a cup of shredded sharp cheddar cheese. Stir everything together. I grabbed my larger casserole dish and greased it. Now you'll pour that mixture we made up right in there, spread it out as even as possible, and then sprinkle 1 cup of shredded sharp cheddar cheese on top. And then on the very top, this is optional, but I do like to sprinkle a 1/4 cup of bacon bits on there. This will bake in a preheated oven to 350 degrees for about 20 minutes. Here's what it looks like out of the oven. All of the flavors work really nicely together in this casserole. Nothing is overpowering at all. Every bite is the perfect bite. You kind of get the barbecue flavor, the ranch, the bacon, and the chicken flavor all together. This is a really great casserole to make. I haven't made a John Wayne casserole in what feels like is forever, so now that's what we're making. In my pan right here, I just added 1 pound of ground beef along with a half of a white onion that's diced. Cook the ground beef up until it is completely cooked through, and then remove any excess grease. Now is the time you'll be adding in your 1.5 tablespoons of taco seasoning with a 1/4 cup of water. Stir these ingredients all together and bring this up to a simmer. Once it does start to simmer, you're going to add in your 1 can of Rotel along with 1 can of drained corn. Stir all of these ingredients to combine. Into this medium-sized bowl, you're going to add 2 cups of Bisquick along with 1 cup of water. Stir these 2 ingredients together. You might have to add a little bit more water in or a little bit more Bisquick until it looks something like this. Now into this smaller bowl, you are going to make the creamy mixture now. So it's just a 1/4 cup of mayonnaise along with about 7.5 ounces of this chive and onion cream cheese. This stuff is so good. You're also going to be adding in just about 1/8 teaspoon of garlic powder and a dash of salt and pepper. Whisk these ingredients together. I'm using my large round baking dish for this recipe, or you could use a 9x13 baking dish. Make sure to spray it with nonstick spray, and then to the bottom add the Bisquick mixture and spread it out evenly. On top of that, go ahead and pour the ground beef mixture we made up on the stove, and then you will be adding the creamy mixture over that. Spread that out as even as possible, and then you'll be sprinkling 1 cup of shredded sharp cheddar cheese and 1 cup of mozzarella cheese on the very top. This will bake in a preheated oven to 325 degrees for about 40 minutes. Here's my plate of food. I topped mine with cherry tomatoes and sour cream. This meal is so flavorsome and hearty. Like I said previously, I really need to make this John Wayne casserole more often. I have a ton more quick and easy dinner videos like this on my channel, so make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any more in the future. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.